everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today I am back with another video on reasons why your listings aren't selling. I have pulled more listings from my Poshmark feed, and these are things that you can change in your listings if you're doing these things, or maybe you have similar issues, or maybe you're just trying to figure out what you're doing wrong in your closet and why your listings aren't selling. This is going to be the video for you. Make sure that you're subscribed and make sure you check out the playlist because I have a bunch of these videos where I just talk about a bunch of things that you're potentially doing that you could really improve upon to make more sales in your closet. Okay, so this first example, they have a really dark pair of pants against a really dark background. So the pants kind of blend in with the background and it just doesn't really look that good. It's really hard to even see what is for sale. So I recommend doing neutral backgrounds, but I really recommend doing white backgrounds because it really makes the item pop, whatever you're selling. In this case, they have a what looks to be a dark brown background and a dark brown pair of pants, and it just doesn't look good and it's really hard to see what's even for sale. So all you have to do in this case is just white out the background and you'd be able to see the item a lot better. Or you could just take this picture against a lighter or more neutral background and it would just look so much better. I can actually really appreciate though how descriptive the title is, so that is something that they definitely did right, but the photo just needs a lot of work and that would go such a long way to do. Okay, so this next one, there's a couple things that I want to talk about. So one, they use that weird filter that kind of makes the image smaller, and they use a very noisy background against the item. I just feel like it'd be so much better to use a neutral background like I mentioned, get rid of that border because then you'll see more of the item, and make sure that the item is fully centered in the photo because half of it is kind of cut out in this image, and I don't know, just it's kind of like you messed up photographing or something. It's hard to tell, but I just think it would be so much better to center the item and clear that background, make it a very neutral background. And also the title is very much lacking. It's just telling you what the brand is and it's telling you that they're boots. It doesn't tell you what kind of boots they are. It doesn't tell you that they look like they're sparkly boots, I think. So it doesn't mention that. It doesn't mention the color. It doesn't mention the size. It doesn't mention if they're mini boots or tall boots or ankle boots, whatever it is. So you could be a lot more descriptive and that would help this item come up in a lot more search to really help it sell better. So this one, the title is pretty descriptive, but I just think that if you rotate the photo, the pants are kind of upside down. And this to me is something you would never see on a company website. I just think it takes 2 seconds to rotate the photo. You could do it on your phone or you can do it when you list it. To me, I would never really list something like this because it just is why wouldn't you just turn it? And so I would recommend turning it and putting the pants upright. The photo itself is actually decent. I mean, again, I would still white out the background, but because these are white pants, you could actually keep the neutral background that they have. I just think it goes such a long way to turn the photo the correct way. That is how normal websites display things, and that is how the eye kind of works. So just turn it and it will actually help the item come up in a lot more searches just by doing that. This next one looks like a really nice piece, but I just think the way that it's being photographed just doesn't do it justice. So it's being photographed outside, hanging on a tree, it looks like, and it's all kind of scrunched up together, so you can't really see each detail of it and you can't really tell exactly how it fits. This is a great example of why I think having a mannequin is just so crucial, because a mannequin would really show you how this piece is going to fit. But in this case, you can't really tell because it's all just kind of scrunched up in a hanger. So I would just really display the piece better. I think that would go a long way, and I think it would really help a piece like this that already looks really nice and pretty. It would help it sell a lot faster because somebody would actually be able to tell what they're looking at. I feel like this, I can't really tell, but it caught my eye and it looks like a nice piece. But again, the photo is just not doing it justice. Okay, this next one is a little bit confusing because it says 4XS as the size in the description or in the title, but then in the size it's referenced a 0. So I'm not really sure what the size is, but it should be the same regardless. Or if it's one of those things that could be either or, I know for example Torrid has their own sizing, but I always try to put regular sizing too because I know it scares people off, but I would put whatever the Torrid size slash whatever their normal size is. In this case, I'm not really sure what the reason is why there's 2 different sizes. I also didn't know there was a 4XS. I wasn't aware of that, but I know that that's not necessarily the same thing as a 0. That you have the same size in the listing and the title. Otherwise, people are not going to know which one it actually is, and this is going to mess up the search a lot. This next one is a quick fix. All you have to do is just, center the item again, like we talked about in one of the first ones, and also just white out the background and get rid of that black border around the edges, because it's taking up a lot of space and it just kind of makes the photo look like not really professional. If you just got rid of that border and centered the item, I think the piece would sell faster and it would just look better overall. It's really like the simple things that go a long way and that show that you take a lot of time to really go through your listings and photograph them well. When you kind of just like slop a picture together and just kind of hope for the best with it, it really does show, and I feel like people really can tell that quickly. And I feel like people are a lot less likely to shop from you when you have listings that kind of look like this. So just really center the photo, or just don't cut out the item in any way in the cover photo, and just white out that background or make the background neutral, and that would help a lot. Okay, this next one again is basically just trying to get the whole item in the photo. It's a big puffer coat, but you can't really tell exactly how long it is because the cover photo is kind of cut off, and this is the only photo of the listing. So I would take more than one photo. I would show how long it is. I would show the details, maybe if there's zipper pockets or button pockets. You could kind of see them a little bit, but I just would really show more. I would also show what the back looks like, because sometimes there's like a cinch detail, or sometimes there's, whatever details on the back that are important. So I would show that. I would also show like the inside lining, whether it's like a lined material or it's like a soft material or it's like a suede material. There's so many things that are important to know about this piece that you can't really tell from just one photo. I would also talk about if the pockets are lined as well, because that is something that people want, or even like the hood being lined, because that'll keep you more warm. So definitely just add some more details and add some more pictures. It would really help, and it actually does increase your chances of selling the piece when you have more photos. Poshmark told us that if you have 3 or more photos, you're more likely to make a sale. So it's definitely important to add as many photos as you can. You have, I think it's like 12 or something like that. So really take advantage of the amount that you have. Okay, this title just says the brand and it says the size. It doesn't even say what it is, and neither does the description. The description just says in great condition. To me, that's really not specific, and it's not telling me anything that I need to know. I want to know, the measurements. I want to know if it's stretchy. I want to know the color. I want to know what it actually is. There's so many things that are really important to know that are left out of the title and the description here, and so it leaves the buyer unsure of what they're actually going to get. And I just find that that's going to really open up the opportunity for you to have a case opened against you because you weren't specific. And honestly, a lot of people don't even want to buy from someone that doesn't have measurements or details in the description. So might as well just do it, because you're going to really, prevent people from wanting to purchase your item if you don't have those things. So this next one, I'm not sure if they just kind of messed up the order of the photos or not, but the cover photo is basically them holding open like the button zipper area, and it's kind of just weird for that to be the cover photo. So I would just have the full photo of like the shorts or the denim, whatever it is. I'd have that first, and then put this as like a detail photo later on to show that like instead of a zipper, it's buttons, and that it's like multiple buttons. Again, taking it back to what I said earlier, you would never go to a store website and this would be the cover photo that you would see. You always see the full pair of pants first. So I would just recommend doing that. It just looks better and it would help the item sell faster. Okay, so something that you probably haven't heard me talk about before, but it's something that is really important to make sure that you're not doing, is having like super long wordy descriptions, because I feel like a lot of people kind of don't want to read that much, and I do think that it's important to describe the item in as much detail as you can that you think is relevant. But when you just start putting a lot of filler words in there, and when you just start like putting paragraphs and sentences, people are not going to want to read that much. So as long as you just cover the basics, whether you do a bullet point list or you do, a couple phrases, but you don't need to type a whole book. People don't want to read that much. So especially when you kind of just like put filler in of like, oh, you could wear this piece out and about, you could wear this piece here. It's like people know where they can wear pieces. So just really focus on the details that matter. Focus on the measurements, focus on the material, focus on the color, focus on if there's any flaws. All those kind of things are way more important than you talking about where they could wear the piece. And this also goes for like, don't have like really long, lengthy rules either in your descriptions. I've seen that before, and to me, that is a huge red flag, and I would never purchase from someone that has a bunch of rules, because it's like kind of bizarre. And so this kind of goes with that. Is like if you have a really, really long description, or if you have like these weird rules, I'm not gonna purchase, and a lot of other people aren't either. And this actually was the same listing as the last one, but the first photo in the listing is a picture of like the close-up tag. Again, I would just put this as a later detail picture. I would not put this as the cover photo. That would make such a big difference. Okay, so that is all of the examples I'm going to talk about today. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, I have a whole playlist on these down below, so you can click on that, or I'll put 2 here on the screen. But I just feel like there's so many things that you can learn from and do and change in your closet that are going to help you have more sales. And if you want to have more sales, why would you not want to change things that really could just go such a long way? Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and like I said, if you want to check out one of those other reasons why your listings aren't selling, I have 2 more here. But until next time, I will see you then.